Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on Arrow Season 6. So as I did say, I would do an Arrow video as soon as we got some decent stuff to go over, as I had started filming episode 1 of Season 6 over the past week or so, and well, we got some stuff to, sort of talk about. Now, some of what we will go over had already been confirmed through people such as Stephen Amell and other actors at conventions recently, and we also had sneak peeks at some other things. But through what we have had presented to us recently, we can look at different things and what they could mean going into the opening of Season 6. There are some set photos to go over later on, but to start off, we are going to go over some stuff regarding Dinah Drake. Now, if you remember back to around 3 weeks ago, roughly, I think it was, we had a picture of Dinah Drake in her new suit for Season 6, sort of leaked online. It was posted willingly, like there was no hostage situation going on, but it was posted when it maybe shouldn't have been. And then it got removed, but then people had already saved the picture and all that jazz by then. Back then, I did say I thought the suit just looked, average. It wasn't bad, it wasn't that great. But the photo we got back then wasn't necessarily the best quality, but in the past day or two, we got an official release photo for her new suit, and it does give us a much better look at certain parts of the suit, so let's have a better look at it. So as you can see here, this new sort of promotional work, I guess, does give us a better look at the suit compared to what we had previously seen. Now, the main part of the suit, which I was the most critical, I guess is the best word to use on, were the gloves. As in the other photo we had from a few weeks ago, they just look like, normal long gloves, like some long leather gloves, nothing special about them. Also, I did point out that Black Siren wears long gloves as well, so it seemed a bit weird to have two almost identical characters in regards to their skill set also have similar designs when it came to what they wear. But going by this new picture, we can see that the gloves do have a sort of armor plating going on, most likely Kevlar, as that is what some of the other characters on the show have. The mask also looked much bigger on the previous photo, but this one here does seem to be the same, if not extremely similar to the one Dinah wore last year. But just let me know in the comments section down below what you think of the suit. Now, the producers also did make some comments in regards to Dinah in Season 6, apart from her new suit, what she would be doing in regards to story. And Arrow went down the typical route, which I'm not going to say I'm a big fan of it, but we'll have to see how it plays out, and that's that. The only thing I can really say about Dinah is that she's going to get a new love interest. So I guess it's typical Arrow at this point with its female characters. They do struggle in regards to the writing there, but they did say that it's not Diggle, but it's despite the chemistry. But I think that was pretty obvious that it wasn't going to be Diggle because, Diggle's sort of married to Lila. One of the more obvious choices is that it's going to be Wild Dog because they were had some differences in Season 5. Wild Dog's, his wife died. We don't know what's going on with his daughter in Season 6, so maybe Dinah and Wild Dog get it on. Maybe they could use Dinah as some sort of link to the villain. Maybe she gets in a relationship and he's connected to the villain, or maybe he is the villain. It could be something along those lines. We do know that Dinah is obviously in the police force, so maybe it could just be a fellow cop that she's, mingling with, and that's her love interest for whatever part of the season. But I don't think it should be too much of a focus. I just think it's going to be, hey, she's going to have a love interest. Really, they were going on about Felicity's new love interest going into Season 5. And, Billy Malone lasted, 6 or 7 episodes? How long did he last? I can't remember, but yeah, he wasn't there for too long. The one thing they really need to work on with Dinah is her character, because really the only thing that she really has going for her is that she's a badass. There's nothing really apart from her being a badass that really makes her character amazing. She's just a very bland character, so hopefully they can work on that in Season 6. They tried that in Season 5 by giving her this backstory, she was doing it all for her dead partner, who was also her lover as well, but I don't think many people were necessarily interested in that, so that's one thing they 100% need to focus on with her character in Season 6, is actually giving us something interesting about her. Not just the fact that she's a badass and she has all these abilities, but, something else besides that. So that's one thing they 100% need to work on in Season 6 with Dinah Drake. But now let's move on to a couple of set pictures that were taken during the filming of Episode 1 of Season 6 of Arrow. Now, these are harder to get than, let's say, the Flash set pictures, who film in the metro areas, so the city areas, and it's easier to get a bit closer to the filming, or you can even be filming outside of a window or something like that. While Arrow, for these pictures at least, were filming in a park so they can, set a greater security perimeter, if you know what I mean. But as always, the sources for these photos will be linked down below, so be sure to go check them out as always. The first of these photos is of Slade Wilson himself, aka Deathstroke. So as you can see here, this is obviously on Lian, which at the conclusion of season 5 we saw start to blow up, I guess, after Adrian Chase shot himself in the head. Now it's pretty obvious that they are filming what happened on Lian between the last time Oliver spoke to them up to the point in which the island began to light up, if you want to call it that. I did see many people pointing out that Manu Bennett's beard is different than what we saw him with in the season 5 finale, which, could suggest that this is a scene showing the survivors, like this is after the explosion and Deathstroke's hanging out with the other survivors. But I don't actually think this is the case. In my opinion, these shows aren't the cleanest when it comes to continuity. An example is Wally West's hair in season 3 of The Flash. If you go watch that season back, his hair grew dramatically between episodes with no explanation. I think it was between 14 and 15. I might be wrong, but let me know in the comments. So this kind of stuff happens. So maybe they just couldn't get the beard straight what they wanted to do. Who knows? Also, the stuff behind Slade would be char grilled, full on over the top barbecue if this was after the explosion. So this is 100% before it, but in that gap between the last time that they spoke to Oliver to before the bombs started going off. So yeah. But I do think most of us, by now at least, do know that Manu Bennett will be back as Deathstroke multiple times this season, as Stephen Amell, who plays Oliver Queen, did say this at a convention over the past week or so roughly. So yeah, this basically confirms that Deathstroke will survive and show up every now and then throughout the season. But then again, they could do something with Deathstroke where he is a sort of ghost, which the show has done before. It wouldn't be out of the ordinary if they did that. Or Deathstroke's appearances could simply be over the flashbacks through a handful of the opening episodes of the season. So maybe they can make it that Deathstroke was the one, keeping everyone safe. He was the one that really kept everyone that survived alive. There might be some casualties, which I'm sure there will be, but Deathstroke will be the reason that they survived. But I do hope the Deathstroke does survive, as I would love to see more of him. But if he were to die, at least it would be good to see him, go out as a hero. But do let me know what you think is going to go down with Deathstroke in the comments section down below. And the last thing to go over for this video is another set photo, and that is this one here of Emily Bett Rickards, who plays Felicity Smoke. And similar to Deathstroke, this is before the explosions go off. She does have blood on her face, which might make you think, oh, Felicity's been hurt in the explosion, but she survived. But if you do go back and watch the season 5 finale, Felicity had these wounds then. In the finale, she has these wounds and the blood in, I'm pretty sure, the same spot. As I said, there could be some continuity issues where the blood might be a tiny bit off, but, they're trying to make it look exactly like the season 5 finale. The only thing that's really different about this shot is that she isn't wearing the white jacket she had. She's wearing the exact same shirt or sweater thing, but not the same jacket. So maybe she ditches the jacket during the look for shelter or the look for safety or whatever you want to call it. But basically, most of the cast was seen on set. I think that Willa Holland was there, who plays Thea. Paul Blackthorne, who plays Captain or Quinton Lance, was there as well. David Ramsey, who plays John Diggle, was there as well. There was something about Diggle looking very injured, and one of the rumors is that Diggle survives, but he only just survives. He gets very, very heavily injured, and I think that's going to be a storyline for Diggle throughout season 6, where he might have some PTSD. Maybe someone sacrifices themselves to save Diggle, so that could be a really cool storyline if they go down that route with Diggle. So he's suffering from some PTSD due to someone else sacrificing themselves to his life. So maybe he feels he has to live up to that sacrifice. But who knows? All I've heard is that Diggle looked very injured in some filming, but there wasn't really any set photos from what I could find at least. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could leave a like. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think of all of this. What do you think about Deathstroke? What do you think about the Dinah Drake suit? Do you like it? Do you love it? Are you just in the middle? Do you hate it? Any of that? And what do you think about Felicity? I don't think anyone's surprised that Felicity's going to survive. I'm not that surprised if she does. But I know she could die. Who knows? Let me know what you think of all of that in the comments section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.